Hello everyone, my name is Lowko and welcome back to a best of 5 series of professional StarCraft 2. Now what I've got for you today is a top level match of Protoss versus Zerg, where in map number 1 we find ourselves on Everdream. Spawning here in the bottom left hand corner, playing with the red Protoss probes from South Korea, we're looking inside of the main base of PartinG. Oh my god, that clan tech. Of course, PartinG, of course. Anyways, PartinG, I mean, many of you are probably familiar with his live streams as well. This guy is one of the greatest Protoss players in the world currently. He's got some of the most ridiculous micro. Now, I was wondering why he decided to go for the pylon instead of the main base. Apparently, it's gonna be a forge first. So rather than sending a drone really early on to block the hatchery from going up, I think that this is just gonna be a full-on cannon rush. What's he gonna do? Yeah, oh my god, he's just gonna block right here the main ramp. If you can put down 2 more pylons, there it is. These drones are gonna have a very hard time defending the low ground where these Photon Cannons will probably be going up. Oh my god, this is a disaster already. In game number 1, playing with the blue Zerg drones from Italy, we have a channel favorite and his nickname is Reynor. Alrighty, so I love this, right? So PartinG, he's one of the strongest macro Protosses in the world. His micro is insane. I actually think we can say that his micro is the strongest, like, in all of StarCraft 2 right now. The thing is, he does builds like this, and it makes him a very, very scary Protoss. The drone's actually trying to see if they can get the kill. I think they might very well. Reynor thinking he's playing Warcraft 3. Eventually does get the surround there, but I mean, the Photon Cannon is already going up, so what exactly are you gonna do? This is so many lost resources. I love the fact that he canceled those 2 pylons over here, but still kept the one, obviously, after it finished up. This one is going to allow him high ground vision, but obviously not without spending a ton of resources. And with the additional structures that came up as well, this is reducing the surface area there a ton on that Photon Cannon. So Reynor in a little bit of trouble. I think he's going to go for the Spinecrawler approach. I mean, he has to, because he's got no gas here whatsoever. So one Spinecrawler coming up. Second Spinecrawler? Hello. There it is. That one will be coming up as well, but I mean, there's already an additional... Oh, the creep is spreading. Oh, is he gonna... No, he's not gonna be able to... Oh my god, I still got it. Yeah, the creep is spreading slowly, so eventually there won't be any additional structures, but still, one Photon Cannon will be added into the mix here as well. It looks like Reynor really wants to try and see if he can hold on to this base. Is this a smart idea? I mean, that base is gonna be dead, though, by the time that, like, the Spinecrawlers finish, right? So this is a pretty rough start here. Yeah, he realizes it right now as well. Decides to cancel the Photon Cannons, or rather the Spinecrawlers. And, well, even though all of this will fall eventually, this is certainly putting PartinG in a pretty nice position. So this is kind of the move that PartinG does a lot. Not specifically this one right over here, but he goes into a game just to try and mess with the opponent, and these are like the scariest cheesy players in the world, right? So the ones that are really, really good at following it up with macro as well. So in the meantime, while this was all going on, PartinG didn't like quite expand here to the low ground, but he's been happily making probes. I think he probably anticipated on dealing a little bit more damage on the other side of the map, but he can certainly play this one out right now. And I think that's what makes a Oh my god, did you see that? He actually forced the probe through. Oh my god, that's a full wall-off. We don't see those moves all too often. That was really sexy. Anyways, so basically what I'm trying to say, the scariest, you know, cheesy players in the world are the ones that can actually play macro. Because right now, PartinG established a nice little advantage for himself, and he's going to be able to build on that. While I say that, it's not going to really be possible for him to expand anytime soon, right? So that's a bit of a problem. Love the fact that that probe got out, though. What's he going to do with it? I think he's going to continue the shenanigans for a little while longer. Reynor gonna check over at the 3rd base as well, knowing perfectly well what PartinG is capable of. Anyways, if you block a probe from going anywhere, it's gonna choose, like, I guess the best path. I don't know. That little bit of AI there is so funny. Ooh, eventually, apparently, the probe did get found. It's actually a problem though, because yeah, now with that one dead, I mean, a lot of Zerglings will fall, and that's nice and all. But what are you gonna do right now if you're PartinG? At the same time, Reynor got himself that expansion up. He's going to be able to start up Spore Crawlers as well, so he should be more than fine against those flying Protoss units. And all things considered here, even though PartinG managed to get the kill there on the base, since he didn't go for the wall-off at the front, he's going to have a hard time really transitioning out of this. I mean, he's going to be forced right now to kill his own forts to actually, like, get down the ramp again. Can't do that fancy trick a second time without, like, killing your pylon, but that's a bit of a disaster too. And this all just takes a very, very long time. And that time, obviously, is being used on the other side of the map to add on more defenses and to just simply add on more workers. Zergling speed is going to finish up here. Warp Gate will be finishing as well. He could be going for like a 4-gate kind of push off of this, but I mean, Queens and Zerglings, they're pretty powerful. They shouldn't have the hardest time in the world holding on. Very defensive approach right now, though, from PartinG, right? Really making sure that these oracles are staying at home. He knows very well that his opponent is likely going to be forced to make those spores anyway, so he's not really going to be able to get that much done on the other side. Really just making sure that he doesn't lose anything. Now, Reynor knows that he knows that there might very well be some Zerg aggression coming across the map, so he is responding to it by just simply making a lot of workers. Already going up towards the 3rd base here as well. Adding on a bunch of queens just in case there's going to be like 7 void rays that all of a sudden show up, right? You need to make sure that you can at the very least shoot any of those Protoss flyers out of the sky. But I'm liking this position for the young Italian more and more. Wolof at the front eventually does come up. Decides to put a couple of pylons in the wall here as well. I always get a little bit nervous whenever I see Protoss players putting pylons in the wall because... as a Zerg player, when I see a pylon in the wall, the first thing that goes through my mind is Baneling bust him! Hit him with the Banelings! I know it's not necessarily the greatest move against one of the best micro players in the world, but... yeah. It's what goes through my mind, guys. I can't help it. I can't help it. Anyways, another forge will be coming up. This time around, not part of the wall-off. PartinG was happily adding on additional workers inside of the main base as well, and right now he can start to transfer towards the natural and actually start saturating that one as well. Worker-wise, I mean, this is really where the Zerg gets far ahead, right? They're not really taking any damage. He's got the 3rd base done. Well, I guess, okay. Got 1 additional worker kill there, which is nice and all, but really nothing to write home about. It's a bit of a balancing act, though, right now for Reynor. Like, what do you do at this point? He goes for the lair. He could definitely try to decide to, or he could definitely decide to try and push across the map and get some damage done with roaches. But obviously, you know that your opponent has a Stargate at this point, so what do? Are you going to get Hydras out? Are you going to go into a Spire, maybe, and try and see if you can go for some Mutalisks? What exactly is going to be your plan from here? I like this move here for PartinG. Well, I'm not entirely sure why I used the Guardian Shield there. Doesn't do anything against Zerglings. Must have been a small little misclick there. But, got 2 more drone kills, by the way. I think that this is going to be something aggressive, though, right? I mean, he's taken this 3rd base. What? There's still a gas available inside of the main. That's kind of awkward. The only thing mining over here at the 3rd is just 1 gas. Well, right now, extra drones are being added on as well. But, yeah, I think Reynor just made a couple of defensive units. He was making a couple of roaches. He's got 8 of them. I think this is just in case it would be like, I don't know, like a gateway push or maybe like an Archon drop or something along those lines as a follow-up. You need to have some defenses. So there's a handful of Zerglings and about 8 roaches. And he's just going straight back into drones. I'm actually curious to see how Reynor approaches this, because I've been in this scenario myself many times as a Zerg. And it's kind of tricky. Like, if you decide to go for a roach push, they just, like, chrono boost out a couple of void rays, and you're in a lot of trouble. The 3rd base came up really greedily there for PartinG. I think that certainly was something that the Zerg could have decided to push into, but you can see that Reynor is just sort of accepting this. He's droned up all the way to max 3 base saturation, and right now is probably when he will really start up that unit production. Baneling Nest coming up. Roach Warren is coming up here. Or rather, Roaches are coming up here as well. He's just going to add on a lot more stuff. Now, a new balance patch went up today in SC2. Very small changes in general. But the Banelings are a little bit weaker now against Protoss. Now, this map, or rather these games right here, this series, it was played in the old balance patch. But just so you are aware, in case you're unfamiliar, Banelings are going to be a little bit weaker, so I'm curious to see actually if in the new balance patch we will see maybe like a switch towards not so much Banelings, but maybe like Lurkers at this point in the game. It is going to be a Spire here as well, by the way, for the Zerg. Now Blink was... oh, nice force field. He did get Blink rather early on here. That's great against Roaches and Ravagers and stuff, but not so... oh my god. Wow. He gets every single last one of them. Pretty sick. It's pretty great against Roaches, but Stalkers, I mean, generally speaking, not the counter to Zerglings. Unless you have PartinG level micro and you can force field them all in and prevent them from escaping. But usually, Zerglings, obviously, they deal a lot of damage. Left effect as well that Reynor is really not taking any risks. He's just going double Evo, you know, going into a 4th base, not setting himself up for a timing attack. He's just building up to 80 workers and letting the Protoss player come to him. Now... Does he know about the Spire? That's kind of the big question here. No, he does not. Hallucinated Phoenixes, though, are flying over in this direction. That is a very important scout. There is a Robotics Bay coming up, or a Robotics Bay already done, rather, with a Colossus coming up, and then also the Extended Thermal Lens. That's a ranged upgrade for those Colossi. He already has Blink, though, so I don't think this is necessarily the end of the world. Could go for Phoenixes as well if you want to. Cancel, 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 cancel. Oh my god, Reynor, you're a god. Are you kidding me? I would have canceled that one like 17 times already. What in the world? You can't transfuse the structure until it's done, so I guess that's what these two queens are looking for right now. Well, I mean, this one doesn't have energy. It's gonna have energy, though, I guess, by the time that this base finishes, but they'll probably transfuse this one back up to a nice amount of hit points. That's pretty insane. I can't imagine that he did not cancel, or that I wouldn't have canceled that. That was so close. Oh, it's actually gonna be Corruptors, okay. So I thought it was gonna be Mutas right here for Reynor. I think he probably must have realized that it was a Robo Bay. Yeah, he did see that. So he's just going Roach, Ravager, Ling, Bane, which is very standard, but then with Corruptors for support to gun those Colossi. Colossi, they deal bonus damage against light. Banelings and Zerglings are light. So they absolutely suck against Roaches, but they're pretty amazing against everything else here that the Zerg player has, other than, of course, Corruptors. This is kind of like an old-school composition, though. This is not something we have seen too much recently in this matchup, so that's why I'm excited to see it. I do have a feeling, though, that the reason why we haven't seen it is because Zerg players have gotten very good at killing it. So, yeah, I'm still a little bit hesitant right here to call this an amazing situation for PartinG. But considering he was on one base for a long time, he's been able to claw himself back into it for quite a while right now. Now, with the Stalkers all occupied in the top left-hand corner, the Corruptors have free reign of the map here. Oh my god, they're looking for the Colossi. Yeah. I mean, sentries could tickle, right? They're pretty good. That's one Colossus falling, and here comes the Swarm. A lot of Banelings in this unit composition as well. A lot of force fields available, though, too, for the South Korean Protoss. I mean, this choke point over here is awesome. Yeah. PartinG is one of the few players that's not afraid of just, like, hanging out in the middle of the map. I think a force field over here is pretty awesome. Reynor right now realizes it as well. He's like, wait a second. Don't really want to, you know, lose half my army here because I make a small little error. You know what? PartinG is he's making the best of this situation. What a strange unit composition, though. No Archons, no Immortals. Not a whole lot. Now, let's see how this goes. Good force fields once again. He's going to be able to force field, or rather blink back these Stalkers too. Amazing force fields. Oh my god. Dude. Nothing connected there for Zerg. Whoa, that was a lot of lost supply there for the Swarm player. Okay. He was looking to swarm that Protoss army. Well, right now, though, the Protoss is moving on to the creep once again. No, if PartinG pulls this off, that would be insane. I have not seen this in so long. This is like a Wings Liberty kind of composition, you know? And that's when all the Zerg players were kind of bad. Right? Everyone was trying to go Brute Lords and stuff. And this is something. I have not seen this for many years. He's got so many sentries. Using the Stalkers right now as well to eat some of the Banelings. One Colossus still remains. Oh my god, PartinG, he grabs a supply advantage. Here come the Banes once again. These force fields are bound to run out at some point. Not a lot of energy anymore on those sentries. PartinG, man, this guy. Love watching him play. It's so good. This game is so different than what everyone else plays right now in Protoss versus Zerg. Amazing game number one right here by PartinG. It opened up with a cannon rush, right? Like, maybe some people skipped the first couple of minutes of this game. Awesome. PartinG actually obtains the victory in such a wild game. Yeah, so PartinG, he's been playing some ridiculously good StarCraft recently. Really, it's a... Okay, I don't want to, like... I know this is kind of overused, but I really feel like he's bringing, like, a breath of fresh air to SC2. So, he was considered to be one of the strongest Protoss players in the world, and I think at some point he was definitely the strongest Protoss player on the planet. Right now, it's probably a toss-up between him and, I would say, Zest. And personally, I definitely do prefer the way that PartinG is playing this. Once again, going for a pylon on the high ground. This alone is already so uncommon. Like, we haven't seen this in a long time. Is it going to be a Forge again? Please go Forge again. No, it's going to be a Gateway this time around. All right. Anyways, this whole situation, though, it's so fun to watch, right? Everyone... Okay, so... Every single Protoss player that wants to play macro is going Archon, Immortal, Zealot, Storm. Right? And then eventually, if they have the option, they will transition towards Zealot run-bys and then a Sky Trolls transition, right? They will go for a bunch of carriers. And there's gonna be a Forge anyway. What? Ay, ay, ay. So this is the way that has used to open up. Let's see if this is gonna work out. Everyone's kind of playing the same thing is what I'm trying to say, right? And for Zerg, I mean, you have tons of variety in the mid game. You can pull off crazy build orders. For Terran as well, you have lots of different units to transition into. But Protoss always, at least for like the last, I would say like year for me, it's felt very limited. It's felt very, very limited. Now, if you want to go for a cannon rush, by the way, you have to plant down the pylon. Huh? I don't think this is a cannon rush. I think he's probably just gonna use a Photon Cannon maybe to like keep the Zerg player at bay. But if you want to like put down a Photon Cannon that can actually hit the hatchery, you have to hit it, like you have to start the pylon before the hatchery is halfway done. Because right now, well, maybe he can... Is that gonna be in range? At least that's always the metric that I've been keeping myself to. Oh my god. PartinG. Yeah, no, this should be in range. I actually thought that those pylons were going to be a little bit late. Once again, the drones are pulled off of gas. And we're just seeing a lot of spine crawlers coming up. Little bit of damage being dealt here by the 3 musketeers. He's going to be able to create a nice bit of space here as well to add on like a robo bay if he wants to. Yeah, look at that. That Photon Cannon barely in range. That was very close though. If it was a couple seconds later, I think the creep probably would have, you know, not allowed him to put down those Photon Cannons. Regardless, a very delayed cannon rush, but it should still work. Now the nice thing is he already has the Cyber Core, and there it is. Okay, the follow-up is going to be all the way at home. I thought for a second maybe he was going to like start up the Immortal production on the side of the Zerg player. What is going on? Oh my god, I love it! A little bit of micro there to prevent those bad boys from burrowing. Spine crawlers on the high ground, spine crawlers on the low ground though. Eventually all of this will be shut down. And once again, PartinG right now is going to be in a weird position. Because in order to like get out of his main base, I mean, he could maybe do like another one of those mineral glitches. Want to see if that's maybe going to be an option here. But he's going to probably have to destroy one of his own structures. And then, is that really an advantage for him? He's adding on another pylon. He really wants to delay this. He really wants to delay this for as long as possible. Okay, so big picture here. Is this really an advantage here for the Protoss? Obviously, he forced out a lot of spine crawlers too. But I wager that those spines are going to be more useful here as this game progresses later on. Anyways, the Zerglings checked on the other side of the map. Well, actually, I think the Overlord checked, but they knew that there was no, like, low ground expo. So, yeah, that basic... Oh my god, he's going to do it again. Do it again. I want to see it again. It goes wrong this time around. Wait, what? Is he going to try and do it again? I think it's like a 50-50. Yeah, there it is! That's so sick, man! It's been 10 years of SC2, and only just now is when these things are getting properly utilized. Like, someone figured this out quite some time ago. I remember there being like a Team Liquid post or something about it, but there you go. So cool. Alright, anyways. The game will once again start off a little bit randomly, right? In a different way than pretty much every other Zerg versus Protoss starts. I think you might have to get that... Oh my god, really? Okay. I thought he was going to have to, you know, uproot that one again, but not going to be happening. Third base, though, was taken in the meantime. And while the Nexus is planted down, I think that too, or... Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, God. Really? Yo, these games are playing with my feelings, man. This is awesome. 10 years of StarCraft, and it's led up to cannon rushes and Zergling cheese. Amazing. It's... I really hope you realize, though, like, for those of you that have been watching SC2 for a long time, the difference in cannon rushes that we see in 2020 compared to, like, 2010, it's so insane. There's so much more thought and so much more skill in the mix here. Because, you know, like, basically, since both players here know that the opponent is very good at playing a standard game, they're just trying to play 4D chess. They're trying to, like, throw them out of what is considered to be the most efficient style. And, yeah, they're trying to, like, you know, outsmart the opponent. And they're really playing a strategy game. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. They're really playing a strategic game rather than what is, you know, just a game of executions and macro. Triple Oracle, though, man. Triple Oracle. Yeah, they can kill queens. They can kill spores. And that's going to slow down the mining over at this, I guess, natural right here quite a bit. Once again, man. You saw that little bit of control there? I would have lost that Oracle for sure. I probably would have lost one Oracle to the queen, too. Don't even know if that's possible, but you got what I'm trying... Okay. I was hyping up your micro, PartinG. Why'd you have to do that to me, man? One Overlord goes into the main base. Gets a little bit of a scout off. Really nice. I'm becoming more and more of a PartinG fanboy. Did I ever tell the story of... I think I may have mentioned this in a cast in the past. But at the last offline event that I went to in SC2... that was Home Story Cup 20. It's been a little while already. But me and PartinG played beer pong. And let's just leave it at the fact that we were both very intoxicated. That for some reason PartinG said it was a good idea that I would be throwing the ping pong balls and he'd just take the shots. Best round of beer pong I ever played. No, he's a great guy. Reynor obviously as well. I mean, I've been hyping up Reynor for a very long time. This guy is, he's got some swag these days, man. A couple years ago when he first came into the StarCraft 2 scene, I mean, he's a very young guy, right? He was a little bit shy, but that shyness is all gone. And he's turning into a baller the longer I know Reynor. Great guy as well. These StarCraft players, the fun thing is, right? These players, yeah, they are competitors. And they face off against each other for large amounts of money. And technically speaking, I guess they, like, technically should be, like, disliking each other because they're competition, right? But in reality, I mean, they meet each other at events regularly. Well, not so much right now, I guess, but they meet each other at events regularly, and most of them are good friends. Obviously, there are some rivalries in real life as well, and a little bit of drama every once in a while, but most of them are actually really chill with each other. And, yeah, they try and not take any losses personal, right? Like, you're just... you know, winning for, or you're just competing for money, right? Like, there's really no hard feelings. Anyways. Ooh. Oracle's trying to get some damage in. Lair is coming up right here for Reynor. He's got himself a nice little situation once again, though. But that previous game must be in the back of his mind, right? So once again, is this scouted right here by Reynor? Yeah, no, not yet. He is going to go once again for the Blink Stalker upgrade. There's a Robo coming up. I would love to see another Robo Bay. What does PartinG call the Robo Bay again? I'm not entirely sure. I think he calls it like, I don't know. I don't want to call it anything that he's not, but I think it's like an Immortal facility and then a Colossus facility or something along those lines. Someone in the comment section could probably let me know. Anyways, would definitely recommend checking out PartinG's stream as well. He's certainly a character. But, you know, he's actually got the skills to back it up. He's actually got some insane skills. Alright, so let's see where this game will take us. One advantage of being forced to make queens in the early game is that you get some pretty ridiculous creep spread. Especially when there's no, like, Archon juggles or you know, Adept shade-ins or anything like that. You can get creep all the way in your opponent's side of the map. Is this just gonna be a gateway push? Wait, hold up. The only thing he really made out of that Robo facility so far was just a Prism and now an Observer. Is this a Janitor crew? Is he going to try and clean up the creep, or is he just going to actually go for a push? Because that is, once again, an awful lot of sentries. 9 sentries! What? I'm a little bit worried for a push like this, man. I'm really not sure if this is a good idea. There's going to be a lot of Zerg units. Only 57 probes here as well, by the way, for PartinG. You see 75 drones, so the longer that this goes on, the better it becomes for the Zerg. Huge eco advantage, but he's just warping in more stuff. He's just sitting there on the creep. It's like he's inviting this Protoss player, or this Zerg player right now, to bile down his Prism. He wants to force field something here really badly. Okay, Observer has arrived. Robo Bay is coming up. I think this is mostly PartinG testing the waters a little bit. I don't think he actually wants to fight. Zerg is making non-stop units here, so I guess in a way this is like forcing the Zerg to slow down on the production. Very brave blink there. I can just see all of these Banelings connect with the sentries, man. That's what happens to pretty much every Protoss player out there. They lose everything too. Oh my god, here comes the Zerg. Good. Oh, good force field once again. There's a little bit of a hole there. Second wave of force fields, also very good. Third wave of force fields, also very solid. Blinks away, manages to get back onto the creep and picks up a couple of those sentries. Still though, 7 sentries ended up falling there, and that was not cheap. Sentries are not really units that you can lose and then replace, you know? Like, I guess you can replace them, but it's very expensive. Maybe PartinG overstayed his boundaries there for just a little bit. Is Baneling speed done? Now it is. 2 seconds. That's going to make this engagement quite a bit scarier. And right now, without really a whole lot, he's going to go for Disruptors this time around, so probably feeling the pressure. He's going to be able to force field on the left, or I guess the top over here. Feels like the left to me. But what exactly is he going to do against this? One Stalker there giving its life for the Protoss. Not quite going to be connected though. And here come the Stalker. Blinks! Good blinks. Oh my god, amazing blinks. Dude, no way. Did he just hold that again? I mean, the supply counts are still heavily in favor right here of the Zerg, but oh my god. PartinG. Yeah, you know how like Zerg players say just play like Sero? And Terran players are like, yeah, just micro like Maru or macro like Maru or whatever. I think the same can be said right now for Protoss. If you're struggling with Protoss, just micro like Protoss or like PartinG, man. Just do it. Oh, well. Can only do so much micro. If big disruptor? Not quite. Not a huge disruptor. I mean, this game, it probably should have been over. But PartinG is still in it, which is very, very impressive. Now, I keep glancing over at the bottom section of the screen, and I see the worker counts, and I see the fact that Protoss here, for all intents and purposes, is stuck on 3 bases. And those 3 bases are mining out, right? The main is running low, Natural is starting to run low as well. He's gonna need to expand here at some point. So I actually don't know if I agree here with PartinG's pushing, or sorry, Reynor's pushing. Would have loved to see him take a more passive approach and just build on that economy. Okay, probably looking to take this base down over here, but PartinG fully knows here that it's gonna be a gamble to take that base. I think he has to though. Not really a chance that you can push onto the creep. Not really a chance to make that large of an army anymore off of these mineral patches. So I think his best chance is probably to try and expand. Did he cancel? No, I didn't. Okay, I thought for a second he canceled the infestation pit. He's gonna try and head over there. Zerglings though. Yeah, Reynor knows it right now, right? He's been also trying to figure out what the Protoss would be going for here. If he can prevent the force from coming up, it's probably gonna be a 3-base all-in here from the Protoss player, right? Or like a very committed push to try and grab another base. So Reynor fully knows exactly what's gonna happen here. He's just adding on a gajillion Banelings. 34 additional Banelings here, 37 right now, a whole bunch up north here as well. He probably wants to try and see if he can just like blow up a mineral line. This might be a little bit ambitious though. I mean, if he can hit something, then it would be good. Okay, I thought he was gonna rally them in. If he can hit something, it might be okay, but that is not a cheap set of units to lose. One Disruptor here, ready to go. Sentries added into the mix as well. Look at this unit composition, man. I love it. Sentries. They have to be ready. Disruptor over here not being utilized at all. It will be blown up into a million little pieces. Zerglings right now at the same time run into the Natural. Decent force field are coming up, but oh, there it is. The Baneling sandwich does eventually connect, and that now evens up the score. Man, I'm glad I'm casting these games. These have been some of the most entertaining Protoss versus Zerg games that I've seen recently. I mean, I feel like I've been a little vocal about it, at least over the last couple of months, that Protoss versus Zerg has become a little bit, I don't want to say boring, but it can be kind of plain. Especially if Protoss is just going for their standard wall-off at the Natural. They go for a Stargate, they get like a drone kill or two, and, you know, Zerg in the meantime is just trying to not die. They make as many workers as they possibly can, forced to add on some Spore Crawlers, right? If it's a game like that, oftentimes the first 6 minutes are just literally the same thing. I wonder if that's what we're gonna have in this specific game. I mean, we had 2 exciting ones just now, right? So a bit of a more like neutral / like boring opener. I don't think that's the end of the world, but Protoss versus Zerg, it has a lot of potential, but it's become a little bit stagnant with like the so-called standard being figured out more and more over like the years, right? Players are going Archon Immortal Zealot, not really daring to go for a lot of changes. Now you can see though, Reynor, man, he is microing that Overlord with like 600 APM. Okay, not quite, but like close to it though. He's microing that Overlord as hard as he can. Now, PartinG might be playing right now. Yeah, I like this. He's not going for a cheese this time around, but he's making Reynor think that it could happen once again. Because it happened 2 games in a row, right? Maybe this is going to be the new standard. Instead, it's going to be that Nexus on the low ground very, very early. Just at 20 food, and then also a Cybercore as a follow-up, also at 20 supply. Look at this. Everything, man. Everything's being scouted right now by Reynor. He's like, you bastard. You're not going to do this. And indeed, PartinG is not. The mind games, they're being played. You can notice here, PartinG is in the head of Reynor. That's good. It's what you want as a Protoss here. Still, though, whenever you let Zerg just do whatever, like, okay, if Zerg is played perfectly in the early game, right, and Protoss doesn't really get a whole lot of damage done, usually, with like a standard opener, it seems like Zerg gets slightly ahead. Very, very minor, but slightly ahead. So because of that, most Zerg players are just opening up literally the same way every single time, taking very few risks. Reynor actually not opting to go for the super fast third base. Probably will be taking it in just a little bit. There we go. That's the 28th drone, so the one that you make at 28 supply. You rally that one over towards the third base, and then that one becomes the third hatchery. It's a little bit safer. That way you can get yourself the queens out in time to deal with anything. It will be a Twilight Council opener this time around from PartinG, so a couple options that he has. He could go for what is the most common standard right now when you go Twilight, and that would be Glaive Adepts. So you go for the Adepts and you get a nice little attack boost upgrade. I mean, for all we know right now, though, he could be going Blink. I would not be surprised at all. I've seen some crazy Blink openers. Now, I like this, actually. Okay, so Reynor is gonna go for a Overlord Speed start as well. So notice how he started up Overlord Speed, that's Pneumatized Carapace, before Zergling Speed. So he really does not want to be caught off guard again. I think this is the result of PartinG playing some cheeky builds over the course of this series so far. He's like, okay, you know what? This time around, yeah, you can go for something cheeky, but I've got a speedy boy inside of your base here in just a second. Now, this is a little bit of an awkward timing, though, because if you want to go for, like, a counter to Dark Templar, you usually want to go for Spore Crawlers or a Lair, and this would, like, limit your options quite a bit, because the Lair would already be too late. Nice scout here, though. Reynor sees the quick lightning flashes right there inside of the Twilight Council, and that means that he knows that something is researching. He sees the timing there of the Robo, sees the Chrono Boost as well. This should be a very, very standard approach right now for the Protoss player, where he indeed goes for the Adept upgrade. Additional Adepts are being warped in right now, too. Nice scout there by Reynor. He knows exactly what it is he will be going up against. So, how many workers does he get? He gets about 41 workers. Goes for a Roach Warren, and he added on additional queens too. So that's going to be 6 queens here in total. They'll probably be hitting the, what is it called? Like the Warp Prism here. And then the Zerglings will probably be chasing the Shades, while the queens are in the front to tank some of the damage as well. I think a very good start here for the Italian Zerg. Really not a, not a vulnerable state here whatsoever. The real scary part about this for Protoss is usually the fact that Zerg can go for a heavy counterattack. If the Adepts don't do anything, like Zerg can just counterattack and prevent the third base from ever going up. So we'll see how this goes. I mean, this is enough, yeah, enough Adepts to start killing the queens, though. Zerglings split up right now. Not gonna commit. Additional Spore or additional units will be warped in. So a couple Roaches now coming up as well. And that's really the scary part. If Zerg decides to, or rather, if Protoss decides to go for a third base right now, he's gonna be in a lot of trouble. Needs to get drone kills. Only 1 drone kill so far. Zerglings still waiting in a natural. Queens will be target fired down. But I mean, now with the Roaches out, a couple Queens losing their life here. Not a bad situation whatsoever, right? Okay, so the third Nexus does come up. I wonder, okay, I was thinking about this for a little bit. I wondered if Reynor wanted to go for like a big counterattack, which is what I usually go for. Because I mean, if Adepts don't really do any damage like this, pretty good situation here for the Zerg player to be in. You can deal a lot of damage by just pushing across the map. Adepts once again, not committing. And yeah, Reynor's just adding on workers again. Okay, so third Nexus. Oh, I actually missed it just now, but the third Nexus, I don't think it was a kill, right? Should have been a cancel. That's a nice nice snipe here with a few of those Zerglings. This is an excellent scenario. So this is kind of what I mean, right? This is an amazing spot for the Zerg player to be in. If Protoss gets scouted well and if Zerg responds accordingly, you can get an awful lot of damage done just playing like what is considered to be a standard game. Zerg just simply has a lot of workers. They're going to be able to transition here quite easily. And, I mean, Protoss is not going to be able to hold on to a third base until these Adepts come home. So, he's going to be able to go for a third base. Now, to put it in comparison, or to, like, in perspective, normally this third base with, like, a quote-unquote standard build comes up at about 5 minutes. Sometimes 4:30, very seldomly, like 5:20 or so. But this is a very, very late third base. 6.5 minute third. That's shaky, right? That's shaky. You can't really continue making probes very easily either. So what exactly do you do right now if you're parting? Against someone of the caliber, I'm really not sure what you would do. Like someone of the caliber of Reynor, I'm really not sure what you would be doing at this point. He's taken like no damage here whatsoever. He's sitting very happily on a full 3-base saturation right now. He's going to be able to transition probably once again towards that Ling Bane style as a follow-up here as well. It's actually going to be Missile, so maybe he'll stick around on Roaches and Ravagers for a while longer. And then transition towards Hydras. Or maybe he'll go for a second Evo Chamber and then still go Banelings as well. One thing that Reynor needs to figure out at this point is whether or not this is a fake third. So since the third base is so late... I mean, he sees some static defense going up as well, so I highly doubt it. No, I didn't actually notice that. For all intents and purposes, right? Like, PartinG could just cancel the third base and make a lot of gateway units and then go for a push. That's probably what Reynor's trying to figure out right now. Is this going to be an all-in? What are you going to do? Okay, another Immortal was spotted there. Does not see the Robo Bay at the back of the main Nexus. Yeah, PartinG is adding on a couple probes, but not that many. So, once again, he starts roaming the map with this very awkward unit composition. Now, Zergling run-bys, that's really where Reynor shines. This guy is amazing when it comes to getting in your face with Zerglings. Luckily, though, for PartinG, yep, there's a shield battery and then also 2 Photon Cannons. So he's going to be able to hold on just fine for now. Now, good force field once again! Brenda, Karen, and Margaret! You guys are going to be no longer part of the knitting crew. You're too slow off creep. You can't run around. This is natural selection at its finest. Man, those force fields have been nuts. Like, those force fields have been absolutely insane these games. I love it. You don't want to overlap, really, right? Like, there's a little bit of overlap right there on those bottom two. But ideally, you never overlap, but you still get maximum value out of it. You have to be like... You have to be so fast with the clicking. And very, very accurate with it as well. Alright, so... +1 melee indeed is coming up. Reynor actually even going for the Carapace upgrade at this point too. So he's going full into the Ling Bane style. Only just now getting the Roach speed upgrade. It's actually a common mistake here for Zerg players right now. Getting the Lynx or the Roach speed a little bit too quick in these kind of scenarios. Pro level players at least have been delaying it for quite some time. So it's a pretty late Roach speed. But I mean, you don't really need it if your units are in the right spot at the right time. Anyways, I'm liking this position a lot though for Reynor. So... a lot of Zergs seem to try and see if they can hunt down the third base. Reynor's just sort of letting it happen, right? Like, he's getting a couple of Zerglings over there. And he probably will try and cancel this base as well. Hello? There you go. He will probably try and cancel this base as well. But, ooh, no cancel there. So that's 400 minerals down the drain. He's being very, very patient. Just simply building up to, like, his own 6 bases here. Right? Wait, no, that's 5 bases. Just getting himself, like, 80 workers out. And that's when he really starts piling on the pressure. Now, once again, the Colossus transition has been spotted. Spire is planted down. Probably will be once more here for a round of Corruptors. But, I mean, Reynor's already maxed. He's got himself a nice bank coming up as well. That's where this army becomes so terrifying for the Zerg. Because basically what Zergs will do in those scenarios is they will just start running millions of Banelings to the Protoss, right? Give or take a couple. Maybe 1 million. Maybe 2 million. I don't know, man. No, at least that's what it feels like when you play Protoss. Like, they can just make infinite amounts of Banelings. And, well, at least in this version of StarCraft 2, Banelings are pretty freaking good against those units. At the same time, while the Roaches and Ravagers are pushing forward, the Zerglings, get another kill there. Once again, no cancel. PartinG starting to fall apart. This wasn't even really a push there by Reynor, by the way. Just a fake. Just trying to get the kill there on the 4th, and he got it once again. And all this time, Zerg is happily getting more money. Adding on more Banelings. With good force fields, I guess Protoss can once again try and pull a rabbit out of a hat, but... oh. Very decisive blinking there. think a lot of Protoss players would have blinked backwards there rather than forward. Now, luckily the Prism here does stay alive. Fourth Nexus, attempt number 3. This time around really needs to go up. Does he already have Hive Tech, by the way? Kind of want to check. No, no Hive Tech yet. So, Infestation Pit, rather late. He's going to be forced to recall some of these Stalkers out of here. These will probably be intercepted by the rest of the Protoss army, too. I think Adrenal Glands, that's why I was wondering here. Adrenal Glands for the Zerglings would be amazing. They're going to be able to bite through all of these Protoss units very easily. Now, this is still a scary force, though, man. Like, we've seen what PartinG managed to pull off with, like, proper force fields earlier. I wonder how Reynor is going to engage this right now. Is he going to try and fight it off creep? I don't know if you want to do that necessarily. This army here for Zerg, it's pretty big. He needs these Bailings at home, though. With Zerglings, once again, going into the 4th base. This is leading up to one big clash, and I can't help but notice the bank of the Zerg. Protoss is starting to get a bank as well, though. You know what? Maybe I'm hyping up the Protoss a little bit too little here. I've just seen so many engagements where Zerg just absolutely pounces on this and then collapses on top of the army. Like we saw with that Bailing Sandwich last game. I mean, that was pretty nuts. He's looking to set it up again. He's looking to do the exact same move once more. Here we go. Force fields do come up. Banelings are up there. Good force fields once more, though, man. God, PartinG is good at force fielding. It looks so easy. This is what 10 years of practice looks like when you just, like, micro Protoss units every day. Insanity. You know what? Oh, big corrosive balls there, though. But this is not a bad situation for the Protoss at all. Huh. He's just warping in more Stalkers. How weird. I love it, though. This is so cool. Oh, here we go once again, though. Corrosive balls. Ooh, this time around, do not connect. PartinG realizing, okay, he's not trying to pop the force fields. He's just trying to actually, like, kill my army. If PartinG does this again, I am sold on this. This is awesome. Okay, well, here comes the... Oh, here comes the Bane train. The pain train, maybe, is what we should call it instead. And there we go. Not a great situation there for the Protoss. He does warp in a couple additional units as well, but now the Zergling reinforcements are really gonna hurt. Reynor, though, apparently doesn't have the larva. That's actually a bit of a problem here. He can't properly reinforce this with more Zerglings. Must have missed a round of injects there. I mean, he had a huge bank, so I guess he didn't have enough larva to run all of that. He adds on additional workers, and he's gonna be able to shoot all of this down. Now, I think that this is a game that's gonna be pretty amazing right now for Reynor, right? Like, this is Reynor's game to lose at this point. However, like I said, the new balance patch is live right now in SC2. Bailing's gonna deal, they're gonna deal slightly less damage. I think in the new balance patch, these are the kind of engagements where Protoss actually wins. So, I really wonder if that means that we're gonna be seeing this, like, Stalker Colossus unit composition make a comeback. Very heavy Sentry support as well, obviously. Now, Sentries didn't really have a lot of time here to get energy. So that's gonna be the last of them. Ugh, he's hoping that Zerg is gonna go over to the 4th base, but here come the Banes inside of the mineral line. Nice little sandwich once again there by Reynor. Yeah, he wants them to engage into the shield batteries and the Photon Cannons over there. Not happening so far. Is it gonna be Ultralisks? Oh my god. Are you telling me Ultras could be making a comeback then as well? Because, I mean, if this is gonna be Stalker Colossus based, right, then it's not gonna be the standard Archon Immortal Zealot. Yeah. Ultras and... Oh my god, Ultras and Infestors. Not a bad choice at all. And as soon as, like, the Ultras are spotted, I wouldn't be surprised to see him go for Archon Immortal Zealot nonetheless. But then at, like, a delayed pace. Now, by the way, we have been watching for, like, I don't know how long of a time this video has been going on right now, but, like, say, like, 45 minutes or so, give or take. We have not seen Storm. There has not been Psionic Storm in 3 pretty long macro games. Just think about that for a little bit, right? How long has that been since we've seen a game not go for Storm? Look at this as well, by the way. Reynor, now taking the base up here. Very, very odd, but yeah, I like it. Protoss, by the way, completely broke. He's got no more money. Reynor still has a bank, still maxed out. He's finishing up all of these upgrades. Oh my god, this is a nice set of upgrades to finish up. It's gonna make this army substantially more powerful, especially chitinous plating and +3 melee. It's gonna make this quite a bit nicer. Adrenal glands right now done as well. Reynor, is he gonna go for neural parasites or is he gonna go for... No, I think he's just gonna go fungal growths. PartinG doesn't have the money though. What's he gonna do against these ultras? Like, I thought Colossi, or rather, Immortals would be a good choice, but he doesn't really have the money for it anymore. Here come the Banelings as well! The Baneling sandwich! You're gonna love it! You're gonna eat it, and you will enjoy it! Well, anyways, if you're a Zerg player, you will. Ultras derping in the back, doing what Ultras do best. And despite PartinG having no army, well, he's got a little bit, but very little, he still seems to be holding on to this base. I admire this as well from PartinG, though. A lot of Protoss players would have given up already at this point. Ah, see? There you go. Gets himself an Ultra. The carcass of it flying down the ramp once again. There's, by the way, the Templar archives. So maybe he does want to get himself the Templar upgrades here eventually. He's only got +1 ground weapons, by the way. Or ground armor, rather. That's not that great for PartinG. Really falling behind in every aspect of StarCraft. Army, eco, and upgrades. This is certainly Reynor's game to lose. But PartinG, I mean, he made a hell of a show out of it, right? 4th base right now being picked off. Look at Zerglings with maxed upgrades, man. They killed that so fast. Earlier, we saw them running away from 2 Photon Cannons and a shield battery. This is Reynor's version of saying, get out of my game! Get out! I don't want to see you in this game anymore. Just make another, like, 38 Banelings. Well, look at this. This is how pathetic Zerg armies are in the late game, man. They're scared. They're scared of not even a half the amount of supply here. Well, actually, a little bit. He's got 69 army supply, actually. Nice. Here comes the swarm. Okay, not gonna lie, guys. As a Zerg player, those Baneling connections, they tickle me in all the right places. Alrighty, so here we go. We find ourselves on the map Golden Wool, and that's map number 4, match point here for Reynor. Golden Wool, always a little bit of a strange map. I'm excited to see what they will be bringing to the table here. Wouldn't be surprised if it's going to be something a little bit more unorthodox once again. PartinG, though, I mean, I wouldn't mind him switching back to his good old style as well, the one that he did in game number 1 and 2. Wouldn't mind seeing that at all. But this has been definitely the best series of Zerg versus Protoss that I've seen recently. Go for a forge. Just build it, man. I know you're already too late with the probe if you want to go for a forge, but you can scout right now and then still put down a forge. That's what Haas used to do. I think I brought that up in game number 2 when he went for this exact kind of opener. If he's gonna go for a forge, we can talk about it a little bit more. But it's a pretty cool style. Now he's just gonna go for the assimilator, so nothing out of the ordinary here. No hatchery blocks either, by the way, so far in this series. A lot of Protoss players right now sending out probes super early to try and prevent the hatchery from going down in the natural for the Zerg. None of that really happening, though, here for PartinG. Look at this! Oh my god, I love it! PartinG! That's a probe with a grin right over there, man. That guy is smiling ear to ear. Well, they don't have orifices, right? Protoss units, but... Rohana has taught me well. You communicate with these humans with their orifices? Disgusting. Yeah, he's just grinning. I don't know. Wing to wing? What are those little, like, do they have cheeks? Do probes have cheeks? They seem to have cheeks anyway, those little circles. He's cheek to cheek grinning, okay, anyways. He's just pretending like this is gonna be a cannon rush. None of that is happening. This is costing Reynor hundreds of minerals. Okay, maybe not hundreds, but at least 100. Not bad at all. Better than nothing. Meantime, though, at home right here for PartinG, he's just gonna go for the gateway into the cyber core. Just playing very, very normal. Isn't it funny how there's, like, exciting players for each race? Well, actually, not really a whole lot of exciting, like, wacky Terran players out there right now, but we have a whole bunch of Protoss players that play very much so out of the ordinary, and then even at a very high level, right? And also for Zerg, I mean, we have players like Bly pulling out some crazy builds. I wish there was something like that for Terran as well, man. Where are my my planetary fortress rushes? Okay, hear me out. Here's what you do if you're a Terran against the Protoss on this map, okay? You build the command center over here, you fly it over there, morph it into a planetary fortress. Now, I know what you're thinking. Look, we're just gonna kill it in time. No, no, no. Here's what you do. You bring 5 SCVs as well, load it into the command center, because that's what you can do. Then lift it up, bring it into the main base, morph it into a planetary, and then repair while it's taking damage. Look, I know that's not viable, but I want to see it anyway. Maybe someone can make that kind of thing work in Grandmaster League, okay? That would satisfy all my StarCraft needs. Regardless, and this is kind of what I meant in the first, or actually this was in the game, in game number 3 when I talked about it. Like, this is kind of like the more like boring way of playing Zerg versus Protoss, where it's just the same early game pretty much every single time. Be it a Stargate, be it a Dark Shrine, be it Glaive to Depths. It's not as noteworthy as, like, say, the other matchups. It's just a little bit more plain. Now, Dark Templar, they sometimes can win the game straight up. I know they certainly do against me. Would not even be too surprised here if you were to see him dealing a bunch of damage with the DTs, because this third base, relatively late. There's a Spore Crawler coming up right now. This is a bit of an awkward Spore Crawler. This is like, I don't know if you're going to be going for a Stargate, or I don't know if you're going to go Dark Templar, but I guess I make some detection. Guess I get myself some anti-air going. Reynor at this point completely in the dark. He doesn't know what he's going up against. That's a bit of a problem. Ovi is flying up here eventually. Looks like the Stalker will actually fall, so the Overlord should be able to figure this out. Prism, though, already moving across the map. There's detection inside of the main base. Dark Shrine does get spotted here. Spore Crawler comes up immediately. Roach Warren even cancelled right now, in favor of a faster Spore over at the third base as well. There's a Spore inside of the main, though, so I think this should be reasonable. Love this Overlord as well. The Overlord is going to see the Prism right away. Laris started up too, but as long as a Spore Crawler lives, this should be okay. Here come the DTs, though. That's 4 DTs. Oh my god. Oh my god, no. Okay, I thought for a second they were just going to right-click themselves on the Spore Crawler. The drone's trying to form a meat shield. Now, this is what Reynor sees. Oh, actually, doesn't work like that. Never mind. Ooh, he's going to be morphing them into Archons and then returning back home. That could have been a disaster, actually, there for the Zerg. If he would have sniped that Spore Crawler, it could have been really bad. Anyways, Reynor obviously only saw the little shimmer there, so he couldn't actually know if he was properly surrounding them or if he was properly, like, preventing them to from running into the Spore Crawler. But quick pull out right there by PartinG. If you morph them into Archons, you can recall them very quickly. And that will basically guarantee you to save them. In the meantime, he's taking the third base. Blink is once again coming up because we all know that that is PartinG's favorite upgrade in the whole wide world. Roach Warren coming up, though, for Reynor. Getting himself a Spire. I feel like I've seen this before. Don't lose the Prism. Losing the Prism is a sure way of losing the game. Do you think this is going to be Mutas this time around? I wouldn't be surprised at all to see a round of Mutas here. Because this time around, I mean, there's no like, Stargate opener or anything like that, right? You haven't seen a lot of Stalkers here as Zerg either. Even though Blink is coming up right now, I think Mutas can actually do quite well. Reynor will only just... Nah. Oh my god, no. Oh, hold up. Okay, he sees the probe transfer. That's pretty big. I was going to say, if he doesn't know, that could be a disaster. If he's assuming this is going to be a 2-base Protoss play, rather than a 3-base, that makes a really significant difference. Okay, so we'll have to see if he decides to go for some Mutalisks. He's not really saving up any gas. So it could just be like a... I don't know, it could just be a... No, it has to be Mutas. It has to be Mutas, right? He hasn't seen like a Robo Bay or anything like that. Yeah, he is saving up a little bit of gas right now. So most of the time, whenever we see Mutas, it's like a small handful of them. So there we go. Well, that's a very small handful. A little bit of a larger handful. like 3 handfuls, okay? Let's do like 3 handfuls of those. So maybe like, I don't know, 8 to 10 or so Mutas. And then you just, yeah, there's a couple more coming up. Then you just harass the Protoss player with that while either hitting them over at the third base with your Roaches and Zerglings and all that, or you try and build towards a 4th base and get that economy there instead. So, yeah. He's making 6 Mutas and then transitions towards full Roach production once again. Now, PartinG, man. He's a connoisseur of the Blink upgrade, but he's also a connoisseur of sentries. Must be his favorite, his second favorite unit in this game. Here come to mute us. No defenses at all inside of the main base. This army, though, for Protoss is scary. This is an army that has potential. A lot of micro potential. For Zerg right here, I mean, you can micro your Queens and your Ravagers, but not in the same way, right? You can't really get as much value out of those as this Protoss army over here. Without Baneling speed, I am getting a little bit worried right here for the Zerg player. Oh, Brenda and Margaret, once again, caught in a bit of a weird angle. One of the Archons falls, but Banelings into Archons. Not an efficient trade there whatsoever. 5 probes were killed. Looks like a Stalker round was warped in at home as well to get rid of those mutas. Simultaneously microing over here as well. And that fourth base, or the third base rather, is taking a little bit of damage. Now, a couple of Banelings do trickle through the force fields, connecting there with the sentries reasonably well. Now, more and more Zerg units, though, are being picked off here constantly. Reynor is starting to run very low here on money. Doesn't have a lot. He's also missing a bunch of force fields. Or he's also missing a bunch of injects, rather. So, not getting himself that much work done. Still, sentries right now out of energy. Defensive Stalkers apparently have decided that it's their turn as well to go to the front lines and potentially get some damage in. This is a nail-biter of a fight right over here. If PartinG manages to break this, that's basically game over for Zerg, right? That's a lot of Stalkers, by the way. Oh my god, there we go! He blinks on them! He blinks all on top of them! I think that's it! No way, PartinG! Is that game number 4 in the books? Oh my god, it is. And still, not a single Storm upgrade was acquired. Alrighty, so, match point. The final map in this best of 5 series will be Zen. I don't think these players are Zen at all. They'll probably be the opposite of Zen right now. Well, maybe Zen is more like a, you know, like a calm mindset. Maybe that's, you know, yeah, maybe they are a little bit Zen. Anyways, what I was trying to say is that they're probably freaking out a little bit and they're trying their very best to see if they can obtain the victory in this game. Now, do you think PartinG has balls big enough to go for a... No. Never mind. I thought maybe... Well, that's a very, very quick assimilator, by the way. What in the world are you going to do with that? I thought maybe you could go for a cannon rush once again and open up like that. Such a gamble, though. I like it a lot more in the early series, or the early games of the series. So it's just going to be a gateway. Hatchery on the other side of the map. I bet he's going to go for a spawning pool and then also a gas geyser here. I know, crazy. What's he going to use that assimilator for, though? That's a very quick assimilator. We'll have to keep an eye out here on where exactly PartinG decides to spend his gas. Could just be a fast expo, though. A little bit of a variant. Normally, we see the assimilator coming up after the spawning pool. Look at that. Or, sorry, after the gateway. Reynor, man. This guy, he's been cheesed a little bit too much. I've been seeing Reynor drone scout in Zerg vs Terran when I casted his game against Innovation recently. I've been seeing him now scout with drones as well with Zerg vs Protoss. This is what happens when you guys keep cheesing Zerg players, okay? You scarred him. It's sad. No, Reynor's just playing uber safe. I think he's probably just assuming he's gonna be way more comfortable if he can go into a macro game, right? And he probably assumes that he's a little bit better than his opponent when he gets to play a macro game too. So he's like, okay, I'll just take the economic hit right now, make sure that we can transition to that kind of game, and then we'll go from there. Now this is kind of cool. This could be a Stargate opener while still going Warp Gate right away. Warp Gate? No, not quite. Nah, it's just a weird, like... He's gonna go Stalker first. Interesting. I think I could have afforded a Warp Gate here. Or, sorry, a Stargate. He's still gonna go Stargate. No, he's not. What? Wait, this whole build doesn't make any sense. He put down that Twilight Council with 150 gas. Don't know if PartinG is maybe, like... playing something I'm unfamiliar with, or maybe he's falling apart a little bit here. Because this is all just inefficient. I mean, in the end, it doesn't really matter, right? But if Zerg sniffs this kind of thing out, we have so-called standards for a reason. You can deal a lot of damage. So no Adept this time around either. That means that the Zerglings are going to be able to get in very easily. And PartinG is kind of completely in the dark, right? He knows nothing. He doesn't even know if there's a Zerg player around there. He probably assumes there is, though. Judging by the fact they're Zerglings, but I mean... Yeah, this is not ideal. Dark Shrine is coming up as well. That one gets scouted right away. And this is going to give Reynor basically everything that he needs. Third hatchery coming up. Additional queens coming up here as well. I wonder if he's deciding to go now for a lair, which is just a little bit more of a reliable counter to most of the DT openers. He could go for a lair at about 335. That would make him... No, he's actually deciding to go for another queen. Nah, he's just going to go for spores then. Okay. Maybe he assumes it's just going to be straight into Archon drops. I'm not sure. Anyways. Right now, great situation right here for the Zerg player to be in. Whenever you know everything that's going on, it's always better than when you're playing in the dark, right? So, great scouting here by Reynor. Assuming he knows exactly how to respond. There we go. 4-minute spores. He's going to go for one in the main as well. Oh, a little bit cheeky, a little bit greedy. Okay, we'll go for one in the main base. Just taking into account the travel distance. Knowing that the Dark Templar are going to take another 3 seconds to get into the main base. Optimizing the mining over there. Lair is coming up as well, so eventually there will be a pretty nice amount of detection there. But Queen's already hanging out over at the third base. I mean, can Queen's kill this in time? Think so. Yep. And there's the defense. At the same time, Stalker fell at the front, it looks like. He's gonna go Shadow Strike! What the... He's got the blink upgrade coming up here for the Dank Templar. Cybercore, though, once again being created. I guess the Dark Templar will be able to defend as well. Did Reynor see it? Yes. You see those flames? I mean, I don't know if he actually noticed it, though, because how uncommon is that? But if he did see it, he knows what it is he's going up against. This is something that PartinG was doing a bunch, I believe, in Protoss versus Terran. Haven't seen a lot of those games. I was actually going to see if I could maybe cast one of those series. Because apparently he's been playing something like this in other matchups. But, Dark Templar with Blink. Technically, very powerful. Realistically, though, very easy to counter. DTs are so expensive. I think this is PartinG trying to play a 200 IQ build. But it turns out Reynor has more IQ than that. Because so far, I mean, he's taking this very, very calmly. Not taking any gambles whatsoever. As long as Protoss is on 3 or on 2 bases, right? And they're not really gonna be allowed to take a third. You should be in a pretty good spot here as a Zerg, right? Because then at that point, I mean, you just wait until they have to take a third. You transfer drones from your main base to the third base. And then, you know, you just continue mining more than your opponent, right? And eventually that will arrive in a nice little army. I guess he's gonna blink in and then... Yep, there we go. Try and see if he can get some damage in. He's gonna go for the Nexus, or he's gonna go for the Hatcher. All these structures, okay? He's gonna kill things, is what I'm trying to say. Now, sadly here, for the Protoss, there is indeed detection. Nice move there, though. Almost got it done. At the same time, Zerg also fighting over at the third base of the Protoss. Oh my god. Ooh, if you lose that prism with 4 DTs, that would be the nail in the coffin. Alright. I have not seen anyone open up like this in a very long time. He keeps trying to blink here. on top of the detection. Nice little bit of damage over here as well, though, by the Zerg once again at the front. Reynor playing an amazing series. Like, I know I'm hyping up PartinG a lot, and it's just because he's playing a style that I haven't really seen before, and he's really playing super, super different than everyone else does. But, okay. I think that PartinG felt a little bit out of it in this final game, and apparently with losing the Prism, he's like, okay, Zerglings are gonna kill my third base, everything is gonna start crumbling down from there. There's basically no way that I can see myself winning this, as the game will likely go the distance, so I'll just go ahead and tap out. I hope that you enjoyed watching this series. This has to be one of the best series of Protoss vs. Zerg I've seen recently. Awesome one. Really, really enjoyed it. If you did as well, hit that like button. That way the video might get recommended a little bit more by YouTube, as the algorithm does look at the amount of likes and dislikes that a video has. So do me a favor, hit me up with that like button. And also, if you really enjoyed it, feel free to leave a comment down below. Let me know what your favorite moment was, because once again, YouTube algorithm. You know, if you made it all the way until like this hour-long video at the very end, right? You may as well. Other than that, if you really enjoyed it too, and you're leaving a comment and all that, right? Make sure you hit the subscribe button so you get notified as soon as future videos go live. But for now, I want to thank you for watching. Have an amazing day. Don't forget to smile. And I'll see you once again in the next one.